Whole lot of nothing. So the trolls probably came here and killed off the family that was in the house, and all the animals were like, brutally butchered. No finesse. I feel like hoax or something as they get closer to the house. Nothing here. Apparently I'm going the wrong way, but like, they never said where to go to find the boxes that these guys are going for. Ah. Oh, it's the tea lady.
I was wondering where you two were.
Are they right there? Alright, riddle time. Doesn't live within a house, nor does it live without. Also use it when they come in, again when they go out. Sure? How do I poison? This. Ah. Whip. What? Spell already wore off? This took more than like 20 minutes to poison the rations. Side of a wolfhound has the most hair. outside. Need to be like around their neck area, but it's not really a side. Oh, outside. She has tasteful friends and tasteless enemies. Tears are often shed on her behalf, yet never has she broken a heart. That's gonna be Siren for sure. Tasteful friends. Onion? Ah.
I was wondering where you two were.
Poisoned the food in all the Mordor lock chests we could find. There weren't many of them out there. I found the majority of them. Don't worry about it. I have something else I need you to do. There's a minstrel at the Baron employed here at Northwarden by the name of Tamni. When he got word that the Mordor were beginning to move down from Reglum to Northwarden Pass, he picked up all his things and disappeared in the middle of the night. The Baron is insistent he's brought back. The Baron mentioned this, Tamni, to us as well. But why is it so imperative he come back? Surely the men might feel a little betrayed. But if their morale is that shaky... The Baron sent word a short while ago that a Nighthawk was discovered within the confines of the castle this morning, and there's evidence there may be others. Naturally, word has spread and the men are edgy about the whole matter. It doesn't help matters that Tamni was never administered an oath of loyalty. And it's possible he was connected with the Nighthawks, I understand. Find him and get him back to Northwarden if you can. But don't let him know you're suspicious. He might bolt. One of Gabbett's scouts has told me there may be goblin activity in the north, so hurry back when you're finished. I may need your help. Same text from earlier. Alright. Take a little break here, even though I did just start. Clean my coffee cup out, get some water and such. I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back. Enjoy Larkeisha. So we just poisoned a bunch of food that the enemy's going to be using whenever they do their siege. Now we need to find a missing bard who might be involved with the enemy. The Nighthawks. I wonder if he was in that cave that I already went through. See, a quiet, amiable fellow who was missing 3 of the fingers on his left hand. He smiled as James and Locklear told some of the stories about their childhood together in Krondor. When at last they began a story about the minstrel Lori, who had become the Duke of Salador. The man nodded. He interrupted them when they claimed he was the best minstrel that ever lived. I imagine this Duke of yours was quite talented, the man said. A short while ago, a jangler played here, a match of which I've never heard. Immediately, Locklear and James exchanged a meaningful look. They looked back to the man. What did this minstrel look like? James asked. Young, attractive, rather tall as I recall. The man said, Have you seen him before? James nodded. If it's who I'm thinking, then yes. Do you happen to know what became of him? Not certain. But he was asking about for a place to put down for the night. One of the other patrons that was in here told him that a Franklin nearby sometimes leaves his barn open for travelers. He might have gone there. Making a mental note of all the man had said, James began to rise from the table. The man tugged at his sleeve. Another thing. The man told him that the door to the barn sticks quite a bit, and that he might not be able to get the door open. It takes quite a strong man to get it to work sometimes. Keep that in mind, James said. Have a good day. All right. It's that barn right over there. It said the door was stuck. Find it on the way in. To find someone strong enough to open the door, I guess? Rain warps the doors and rusts the hinges. Half the farmers in these parts keep a supply of Fatimor's formula, so they can get to their cows in the morning. Okay. That's expensive. Oh, you can buy it. This is why I sold them earlier. I see. Alright. James pushed on the door of the barn, but it refused to budge. Despite the fact there were no locks visible, the wooden door remained securely closed despite the group's repeated attempts. Finally, after a great deal of struggling, innumerable grunted curses, and with a giant whining screech, the rusted hinges released. James motioned to the figure across the room. The man walked over to join them. He stood before them, shifting nervously.
Baron wants me?
I didn't expect to see... I didn't think anyone would, come after you? Ah, I should have known it. You come a prancing into Northwarden with that little twanging box of yours, and you sing a blues string about honor and glory. But when it comes down to it, you ain't got the picture. Instead, you got this yellow streak. Never stand and eyeball your problems. Face to face. You let other folks run you around. One day somebody's gonna run your life right off a cliff. I'm the one telling me to leave Northward. Me. That's Tammany the Minstrel's decision. Not someone else's. I'm making the decision to live. The Moradel done run you off and they ain't even got here yet. They done a better job on you than any duke or baron or crossed swords with before. I'm not being a castle with a coward like you anyway. That isn't fair. I'm a minstrel. What good would I be? I don't know how to use a sword. I don't know how to heal wounds or direct a battle. I'd just be in the way. I'm just one insignificant man. Not so insignificant, Tammany. Before I went to serve in Krondor, my father used to advise me. When you have earned your title, make sure your minstrel is well paid. I hadn't a clue what that meant until I saw the battles at Armengar, High Castle, and Sethanon, and others since. When men sit and listen to songs about great battles, they remember men like themselves have faced terrible dangers and emerged alive. That gives them hope. Sometimes that's the only thing that an army needs. Why do they all have to depend on me? Why did fate arrange it that I was the minstrel who happened to be at Northwarden? We aren't going to force you to go, Tammany. It's your life, your decision. If you choose to leave, that's your own business. Should I request a favor of you before I make a final decision? Anything if it will set your feet back on the road to Northwarden. There's a cave not too far from here that is known as the Diviner's Halls. But then there are several small stones called pattern stones by geomancers, which can foretell a man's future. If you return with one, I will make my decision. Already got it, dude. Geomancy? Sure figured you'd go in for that Haws and Possum. Just another way for something else to do to make your hard decisions for you. Quiet, Patris. We'll see what we can do, Tammany. I'm back. I got the stones. Bring the pattern stones? Don't get yourself into a tiz, Tammany. We got your silly rocks. Now you walking back to Northwarden, or are we dragging you? I'll walk back myself after I've studied the rock. Tell Baron Gabbett that I will be there soon. I think he will be rather more relieved than you might imagine. Oh, and why is that? Before I was off from the castle, I had it in mind I wasn't to leave until I had at least made some provisions that I could survive. Even assuming I slipped out of the castle without notice, there was still the issue of how I would pay my way until I reached a safe haven. So after a bit of investigation, I found the treasury. It was being guarded by a fellow by the name of Corby, a fellow whose tryst with a certain girl by the name of Thea I have had the vicarious pleasure of orchestrating over the past several months. Once I had convinced him that she was awaiting him, it was a simple matter of slipping inside and grabbing up a pouch. Not as if the Baron's missed a few gold sovereigns. I think he's involved with other things at the moment. Exactly as I was thinking. It seems that what I picked up in the dark was worth rather more than a few dozen sovereigns, several hundreds more. Once I realized what I'd done, I became terrified of going back. I could see why, but when the Baron told us to come and get you, he made no mention of missing money. It's entirely possible that no one has noticed the missing funds as yet. You can take them back to him. I can't. Even if I return them, the Baron will be aware that Corby left his post open for me to plunder. Though I can't say I behaved much like a friend to him, I don't wish to betray him twice with the same crime. Actually, I have something of an admission to make. He is the reason why I asked you to retrieve the geomancy stones for me. They aren't worth much, even to a gems dealer, but they can be used to make an attractive stone for a wedding band. For Corby? Of course. So you've been considering returning all this time, but you wanted to wait until you could recover all possibilities. All but one. I was wondering if you would take the pouch of diamonds and hold on to it until after the battle was over. This way no one gets hurt and we can all do what we need to do. Tell them you took them off a dead nighthawk or something. When you go back to the castle, there's a possibility they will search you since your behavior has been a little odd. I'll take the diamonds, but I'll worry about how I will tell them after. My only concern is that you return immediately. We have other things we need to be doing for Duke Martin. Done. I'll see you all back at the castle. Don't be too happy about this, Tammany. You and I will have a big score to settle on later. Don't let yourself get killed getting back there. Right. Oh, I see, Iggy. We're just lumbering our way through this game still.
I was wondering where you two were.
I'm beginning to get wistful for the days when we were running the billets in Krondor for Master DeLacy. Haven't had too much exercise in a long time. So, where are these goblins you told us about? What about Tammany? Did you find them? Yes, though it took a little extra work to get him heading back to Northwarden. He promised dutifully he would return, and I believe he will. We had a long talk. I can see now why Arutha values you so much. I personally wouldn't have believed it possible. But as things stand, we still have a long road to hoe, as they say. The Goblin Company of Archers has already moved into the past and is trying to entrench itself here or there. If they get a foothold, they may be impossible to root out once the Moradel roll in. We need to find out what their deployment is going to be when the battle begins. Okay, so we grab their leader and give him the hot poker treatment in the dungeon under Northwarden. Tell us where to find him and he's yours. No good. As soon as they discover he's missing, they'll change their tactics. No, what I need is the big plan, and I'll be willing to bet that it's still in Reglum. The big plan. How many scouts has the Baron let you? About 20 men out at the moment. Why? Then you won't miss the three of us much. We're going to Reglum, and we'll find a way to get that plan for you. You plan to march to a company of goblin archers to the city where the Moradel are massing? Walk right up to the leader of the enemy and say, "Excuse me, may I just borrow your war plans, please?" As I recall, I snuck the future Duke of Krondor, Prince and Princess, and the Admiral of the Western Fleet out of Krondor while it was under siege of Jaco Radburn and Guy de Batira. I think I could snatch a silly piece of paper. I think if Prince Arutha didn't want to make you the Duke of Krondor someday, he would probably have you killed as a madman. Alright then. Give me that paper, but be careful. I'll be waiting for you. Well, that at least answers a few questions. We'd best be back at getting this battle in order. Is there anything else you need at the moment? Just for you three to be careful. We can't afford to lose any more men. I think we can handle that order. Stay out of harm's way as well, Duke. Arutha wouldn't forgive me if you somehow got an order. Hero shot by some goblin archer. Farewell. He says that every time he talks to this guy. Also, that dude's like a master archer himself. Why is my character going in this direction? Alright, so we need to go... Raglan way up there. Probably gonna make me go around this way. I'd rather just go north if I can just fight my way through them. See if it'll let me. Somehow I went to Northwarden. That's alright. Could sell these diamonds. They're all 100% too. That would be worth a huge amount of money. As well sell this one. Need 10 rations to everybody out. No. Found Tammany as you requested. He told us that he'd be returning here as quickly as possible. I appreciate your efforts, but I have other matters to concern me at the moment. I still don't like the look of this battle. Is there anything you need from me? Actually, well, no. When I first saw you, it occurred to me to ask you something, but whatever it was utterly slipped my mind for the moment. Okay. I can't give him the diamonds back? Why can't I give him the diamonds back? Technically, my characters are the war effort, so that's probably just my payment, right? Okay, so it won't let me get around these guys. It's so freaking stupid though. Like, there's only 4 dudes there. Like, well, there's too many for us to get by. And then, like, if you look at the road while I'm walking here, you'll see all the enemies I've killed. Just like a ton of them.
I was wondering where you were.
Right. If I go to Kenton Rush, I could sell the diamonds for even more. It's like the best place to sell gemstones, I think. See if it'll let me go down there. No, can't go that way. This is not. This, instead, we're gonna go like west all the way around the entire world, pretty much, to get to where we're going, because there's one group of enemies in the way. Yeah, there's just bodies all along this road that from enemies groups I killed that were just as big as that one. Alright, I guess it's gonna make us go this way. So yeah, instead of going right here to right here, we're gonna go from right here all the way down and around this whole entire area to get there. And I'm sure there wouldn't be any guards along that route. You know, considering their base is right here. This is nonsense. Earlier we were there because we were playing as other characters who got in prison there, and then like we escaped. And when you were here, you weren't allowed to go this way. So there was a guard group at the bridge. You couldn't go this way because there's a guard group at the bridge. So you had to go all the way to the west down here. Then I think around where you get to Tearsall, you like went to the next chapter and put us over here as the other guys. There's like a group of rangers over there that are escorting them, like they escorted them through this forest to get here. Which is also pretty nonsensical, because if you go anywhere near Sethanon, you get attacked by ghosts every step. Like, and they're super strong enemies. So no one could go there. Like, everyone would just die if they went to that place. This was the inn, or the house that has a slaughtered family in it. So there was trolls that got them. What? What? I can't go this way? Dude. What do you want me to do, game? There's no other directions. Yes, here's a bunch of enemies right there who I took out. Alright, we'll do Divinity Original Sin 2 soundtrack. The good stuff. See, like those guys, they totally would make it so I can never get by. There's like 6 or 7 enemies on the ground there. They were all in one fight. There's another dead group over there. I wonder how we're gonna get to the
I was wondering where you two were.
place where it told me to go here. So let's try to walk into that group in the north and see what happens. And if it doesn't let me do that, then I guess we're just gonna start prodding around the area to see if there's a way to get through. Okay, go over here. Band of goblins milled in the roadway. James stared hard at the leader of the goblin band that faced him. At his side, Locklear counted heads, silently calculating the combined worth of the mercenary force. What do you think, Lockie? James muttered. Whatever Delacon's game is, he's paying for it. Locklear replied grimly. Goblin mercenaries charge small fortunes for their services. And by my guess, there's at least 1,000 sovereigns worth of them in here. I don't think they'll attack us unless they think we're getting too close. We might be able to negotiate a passage price. Ah, Petrus spat. Dark brothers are dark brothers. They're just mean-spirited, period. Stepping out of the ranks of the enemy, a tall, pale-complected goblin drew his sword and pointed it at James, speaking the kingdom tongue with some difficulty. He glared at them with black eyes. You speak price of passage, he said. Dargoon, Here speaking of you and tell to Gula. Gula consider and say price of passing as being thousands of 2 sovereigns. Thousands of 2? You mean 2,000? Gula nodded. If you pay, we shall let you pass. If you come closer and not pay, we kill you. You give us... No, we fight. Price is too high, he said. We could hire twice as many kingdom soldiers for the same price. Striding forward, the goblin drew a line in the dirt at their feet. And you now cross this line, or you will die. You know, cross this line, or you will die. Oh, junk! I moved the wrong guy. That was the Petrus's turn. It's a really bad start. May have been. I was playing that Romancing Saga 2 game the other day. Probably. Why can't I hit them? Hit chance 104%, but I miss. What is this? XCOM? Dude, why is Petrus not dodging? Like, he has max defense. You get hit every time. I was starting to put him down now. Yeah, having like invalid hit percents is really dumb in any game. They must be showing you like the base percentage and then like doesn't tell you about their armor or anything. It's probably how it works on here. Also on this game, like the more an enemy's hurt, the lower their effective skill percentages are. So say if they had like 100% defense. If you hurt them for 50% of their health, then they only have 50% defense skill. But you do have to break through their stamina barrier first. So stamina is like a buffer to health on this game. It's pretty neat. It's a good idea until any mage does any spell. It blows your whole team up. Because they like didn't balance mages at all. But look at this. Patris is on the other side of the screen. That guy's about to get away. And now he's blind. Like, this is so dumb. So the negative with the mages is if anyone's within 1 square of them in any direction, even the diagonals, they cannot cast their spells. That's why they always jump on the mage right away. Oh, is this one of those bullcrap things where they don't actually die? What happened? Like surrounded by goblins. Did they let me through because I won, maybe? Wait, that's south though. Eh? I don't understand what happened. On this game, they're way too strong. Like, way too strong. Patris has a spell that will, but especially if you have a troll enemy in the battle, because they're considered evil. So the way the spell works is it hits the first target and bounces to every enemy in the screen. And each time it bounces, it does like a percentage less damage. But if it starts with the troll, it starts at 120 damage, which is like harder than anything can hit or even get close to hitting. And so that dude's instantly dead, and then it bounces and only goes down by 1% of that. So that dude's probably instantly dead. It keeps going. And it's one spell, and the enemy can do that to you as well, but it starts at 60 damage. And even that's like way too high though. Because if you look at our health and stamina here, you know, the total is that like 104. So if you hit for 60, they've already broken through all your stamina. And you lose 13 of your health. Which means that you're going to lose like 20% of all of your skill abilities. So then you're extremely vulnerable. Oh, dang it. I guess you have to pay the price, because otherwise they just keep getting back up. We not fight nor shall any our company you meet. Tell them you paid your way at Gulla's command. We will fight for your baron. Oh, we actually recruited them. Nice. As the goblin leader moved away, Locklear chuckled as he whispered in James's ear. Imagine the look on Baron Gabbett's face when that lot marches up to Northward and announces they're fighting on his side. He'll have a fit. Ah, too bad we won't be there to see it. Can't I sleep here? These are my buddies now. I need a rest to get my stamina and stuff back. See, the wind howled, I in the gap, which was the mouth of North Warden Pass. James turned to Locklear and clapped him on the back. So, how about a little fun, old friend? You know, I've lost friends every time I've gone into the Northlands, Locklear replied coldly. Bronwyn, Captain Moyer. James nodded. Sounds to me you've got something to pay them back for then. What do you say we go stir up trouble with Delacon's troops in the Northlands? Why the heck did it just skip a page of text? It said something about they marched. Buckler's head swam. I don't feel well, he gasped, clasping a hand over his blood-drenched side. My wounds may be mortal. I need attention from a temp. Are you kidding me? We got a near death. Traveling? How's it going? I will be back. Oh, he's poisoned. Alright, should be good now. How's it going, pup? Man, you got 2 awesome games to get through then, I guess. You don't really need to play the first one, though, if you don't have it. They're not... I don't think they're really contiguous. I didn't need to transfer anything from those guys anyway. This guy already had super armor and this sword and the spyglass. I do wish that I had the spyglass with Owen and Gorath earlier, though. Then I bought 2 100% armors. Found this one on an enemy that had a blessing on it too. So we all good. I was surprised that this guy came onto the party with a great sword, though. I don't remember getting that. I might have before he switched dudes. This weapon is really good. Good slash with this weapon can take off a goblin's head. It seems to, like, almost never get hurt as well, compared to, like, every other weapon in the game. Okay, they marched in silence, fearing that the sound of their kingdom speech would carry in the cold. They moved as quickly as possible through the treacherous Northlands Pass, or Northwarden Pass, each steeling themselves. Oh. Well, didn't push anything, but it went anyway. We got it. They walked for a long time in a direction. It was cold. That's what it said. What's this thing? Oh. Alright, so there's a few houses here probably. Plus coral. -5 coral skill. Elven's way better. Big old troll. Wait, is that a giant? It's like a casting giant or something. Ouch. Oh, he missed. Oh man, 25 damage. Ooh. To reload just because he went down. It's much of a hassle to heal them after they go down. Just like not miss. There we go. This missing crap is baloney. I wonder how the illusory character thing works. Oh. His attack quite a bit stronger. $130 damage. Bonk. Oh, I missed. Do the scouts stick around while I heal up? $113. I don't think he's surviving that one. Food for days. Yeah, these giants were like loaded up with food. There's like 100 bows over here. Every house has bows in it. The smart move here would be to burn all of these places as you go. But you know they're going to use all those bows for the siege. I get turned around? I got turned around. Need to go whichever way is more north. It's this way. Caster. This game has a scouting skill and stuff, but it like never gets leveled up. It's like only super rarely they're like, oh, I saw the birds move before you got there, and it's like scouting skill up, and you're like, how the crap am I supposed to level this skill? Like it just randomly seems to go up, but the game decides to make it go up. Hide behind this guy. So the caster doesn't have a good line of sight. Sometimes they just walk around stupidly instead of fighting. Can't cast anymore. And we're poisoned, of course. He's poisoned as well. Everything's poison. right. Up to 95% melee on him. So weird, this has like a chance to work, but you don't even know if it did work or not. Like it doesn't have a different message or anything. First time you read it, it gives you like +5 all skills. What? Starving? What the heck? Where did all my food go? What? They all had 14. It takes a huge amount of time to use that much food on here. But did the enemy steal my food somehow? I need to go back and get the food that's on those giants. Catapult? It's not right about the ground before us. This doesn't look too bad. Go. Set the weapon from every angle. Just be in good condition. Though one of the torsion gears is broken. Mordell must have built this toad-throwing toy to annoy the Baron. They'd never get up the pass before old Grunt Bucket shot him down. Perhaps, but it's of no use to them now unless someone fixed it in order to lob stones at Raglan. Now that's peculiar. That's peculiar now that you mention it. Tell me, Lucky, if you were just going to leave something like this lying around in a field, even if you didn't have it working, do you leave it painted at your home? Or pointed at your home? What are you getting at? The only reason this thing won't function is because one of the torsion gears is broken. Not something all that complicated to fix. I suppose the gear didn't break of its own accord. Barath told me that many of the Moradel clans had reservations about fighting under the old battle colors of Mormondamus. Now, if you were one of those clans and wanted a backup plan in case you wanted to back out of the strike, it would simply be a matter of installing a replacement gear. And pulling the release lever. It even has a payload in the basket, of course. Assuming we could find the part ourselves, we could stir up some trouble. Maybe find a way to get to the plans Duke Martin needs in the confusion. Perhaps. But we'll need to find a replacement catapult part first. I doubt there's one lying around here somewhere, but let's check around. I did not find it. Right? We're gonna have to go along the bottom here. Why don't just let me walk into the town though, which would be really weird if it does. Seems fine. Krondor, he snarled, rubbing his finger across 3 red marks above the door frame. What does that mean? Captain Krondor. He's a Mordor leader who has a reputation for setting up empty residents and empty dwellings. Oh wait, for setting up residents and empty dwellings. What are the 3 red marks above the door? They are equal in number to the original inhabitants he murdered to ensure the emptiness of the structure. The rumors of his savagery have spread as far south as Krondor. Fearing an exchange would draw unwanted attention from other Mordor nearby, and realizing the futility of a confrontation, they left. I should just go in there and kill him. It wouldn't be no problem. A strange old elf opened or answered the door. He glared at Patriot suspiciously with upraised eyebrows. Yes? Did Aaron the minstrel send you to sing for me? Yes. Well, come in then. I'm very busy, but I work much better with music playing. Help me think. What manner of work do you do? Mortal scowled. You're here to sing or ask questions. There's a lute over in the corner. Use it. As Patriots picked up the lute and began to play, he was amazed by the huge assortment of gears, pulleys, springs, and other equipment that were scattered around the house. The Moradel was obviously some sort of engineer. What is all this stuff? Whispered Locklear. I cannot be sure, but I recall stories of a Moradel weapon maker whose ideas and plans were sometimes too inspired, even for Dilicon. He was known to be a bit of a musician, though not a good one, and he used to demand musicians play for him while he worked. Only they couldn't play better than he, or... Stop that racket! This isn't music you play. I can make better music dropping that instrument down a flight of stairs. Get out of my house! Not wanting to upset him any further, they agreed to leave. As they stepped out the door, Petrus whispered, Try not to play my best, but playing poorly can sometimes be as difficult as playing well. So he gets mad anytime he hears something that's better than what he can play. Bessie Mahler. Crossbow type has become legendary since the end of the Rift War. Replicated from a model discovered in the Northlands, the draw was impossible to set bare-handed and required a lever called a goat's foot to be used to span its deadly draw. Fortunately, the crossbow had the device attached. Probably the best bow in the game. Gonna give me the discount shop. Should pretty much be set here. Man. I'll be back. Do you know if you can even return these diamonds? I went back to the keep and it didn't even give me an option to talk about him. Chapter 5, not 6. Things that says cash the diamonds in that shop. Guess you can sell them then. Doesn't have rations. Characters aren't doing so well at playing the instrument. Oh, it's still failing every time. Okay, got it that time. I don't have rations here either. These all count as one each. It's annoying. To buy 4 on everybody. As Captain Krondor received his final orders for the move against North Warden. Futile with our numbers. We have no hope of surviving the march to it and then breaching the walls. This Kingdom Baron will crush us utterly unless the engineer has come up with something. Try not to be too interested, James prodded Mordo further. Sigerson? Mordo stared at them strangely. I heard he was killed in a Quegian battle near Palanki. I wouldn't know, James recovered casually. I've been on foot for 8 years or more. I'm working in a press gang. Well, it's all a moot point at the moment anyway. Rodek has locked himself into his commandeered command post to work on the battle plans for a Goblin offensive. And the engineer just sits in his house drawing up designs. Hopefully the kingdom won't elect to retaliate after this madness is over with. I thanked him for the information he was able to provide and casually strolled back to a spot near the tavern door. You've been hired by Narub's brother? What's his name again? Nago? Eston Mordo? Yes, we are mercenaries from Quig. Just arrived. What news have you of the thrust south? I see this guy's final orders. You got the finest idea what's going on. Okay. So that's it. Expecting a Mordo, but was surprised to see a large bull of a man come to the door. He eyed them suspiciously, then spoke. Mother of Ishop, look at this. Kingdom dog is looking for a bone. He sneered at Patris, then said with a snarl, you best go back to where you belong. There ain't no work here for the likes of you. Now get! Rather than provoking a fight, they could attract the whole town. Locklear agreed they should leave. What? An immortal lamprey. It's a lamprey thing it spoke about. After a short conversation, they found out that he had come to Raglan to die. Too old to travel with the rest of his clan and not willing to stay alone in Raglan, he resolved to wander off into the forest and let his life slip away like the wind in the trees. Though he hated the Mordor race, the conversation made Petrus sort of sad. He was glad when they left. Monies? It's an upgrade. Seems like we should get the gear from that one dude's house, but you have to go in there at nighttime or something. I was hoping it'd be another riddle one. Aha. Buckler took a deep breath, holding the catapult port they had found in the box, and using some makeshift tools, he kneeled before the machine set to work. It took nearly 2 hours to install the part. Though Locklear wasn't positive the machine would work at all, he stepped back to admire his handiwork. "I'm not an engineer, but I think that should work," he said, motioning to the others to join him. Together they stood before the strange wooden creature, its one arm poised, ready to fling its special cargo into the sleepy mortal town of Raglan. Should I give it a try? Yes. Patriots backed away from the catapult, wiping his forehead with the back of his hand. Locklear bent down to grab the wooden handle that would bring the monster to life. Did we get him? The door was ajar. Locklear tried to enter the small house, but something seemed to be blocking the door. He pushed a little harder, and reluctantly the door swung open a little further. Peering into the darkened room, they could make out the form of a male Moradel on the floor. Kroldek's body was curled into a fetal position. He appeared to be clutching at his throat. The engineer knew his business quite well, he said. That catapult load seemed to have been very effective. Switch the room quickly. After several minutes of intense examination, Petrus called out, "I think I found something." Behind a wooden writing desk in the corner was a sword of Lim's Kragma, a small pouch with 150 gold coins and a set of company orders. This would put a kink in the Moradel attack plans. So we got their orders here. What's this? A shiver ran down Petrus's spine, though the weight and play of the sword were as he expected. There was a darkness about the blade that unsettled him. No matter how he turned it, light refused to reflect off its highly polished surface. 49 plus strength and 71 strength. Looking at the note for several minutes, Petrus shook his head. Duke Martin will be pleased with this, I would think. Now we just need to get back to him. Yeah, this sword is like super strong. Wish I had a list of like who's gonna be in what chapters. I mean, that would be a really simple chart to make. Surprised there's not one out there. Maybe there is one. Let me find out. Who's gonna use this sword more? It's like looks like you're gonna have all three of them in chapter 7. In chapter 6, we're going back to Owen and Gorath. In chapter 8, Owen and Gorath again. Imagine Pug probably goes in the party. They do mention him on here a lot. And then final chapter. I'll go one in Gorath. So it doesn't matter who we give it to, because James and Locklear will be together the rest of the game. Give it to him because he misses a lot, so we're gonna need the better accuracy. He's gonna lose accuracy, isn't he? Yeah, it's gonna be a bit less accurate, but do way more damage. Okay, so we give it to the actual swordsman. 2045. Not sure which one of these is better because of the human bonus. I don't know how much it is. This one has max blessing and human bonus. Percentage wise, though, this is almost double, so I doubt it's gonna be as good. Just using the great sword. Alright, we're good on food. Ready to head back. Right. My goblin buddies, I think. Where's the sword come from? I don't remember picking that up. So this actually doesn't make much sense what we're doing here. Like, we just went and got their battle plans, but the guy who we killed was the one writing the battle plans. So that means that nobody has even seen the battle plans yet, and that we're giving them plans that no one has seen. So how would they know to do those battle plans? Because the guy who wrote them's dead too. I think it said inside of them that they were going to ally up with the goblins and attack with them, but we already paid off the goblins to fight for us, so... that part of it's already foiled. Confirmed, Iggy. WoW's dead game. Everybody who was on the hardcore server had a character die and then just uninstalled. They all done gave up. Are those servers regional? I thought they used like server groups nowadays, so that there would like always be people around. Anniversary.
I was wondering where you two were.
Got the plans, Duke. Got the plans for you, Martin. Too bad you didn't come with us. We had quite a bit of fun. Won't be much time for that very soon. My gut instinct tells me I'll begin the assault in the next few days. Before we go back to the castle, there's something I would like you three to check out for me. I got this mysterious note from someone that said a company of Moradel illusionists had slipped behind northward. I thought Patriots would know how best to deal with them. It's like those pointy-eared lily munchers to go stealing my ideas. Baron Gabbett had me working on something like that, but I never could get the kinks out. I knew my tongue was itching for some reason, but if we run across them, I got something that'll fix their hindquarters in a bat's fart. Being old Patris. Whoever wrote the note doesn't specify where they're supposed to be located. So if you three would just take a swing southwest and see what you can find. Once you're done, come back and we'll all head to the castle together. Well, that at least answers a few questions. You'd best be back at getting this battle in order. Is there anything else you need at the moment? It's the same end. They use the same exact end of the conversation every time, which is really stupid for a game that's supposed to be narratively driven. It says southwest. I already like cleared that whole town out. Maybe it's the tea lady. I know what you're up to, tea lady. You must be an illusionist. That's why the tea tastes so good. I understand why they made it so you even need to rest on this game. It's a waste of time. Like, resting without being hurt or anything. That is. It makes sense whenever your characters have just done a battle or what have you. When they're just walking, should just take that crap out of there. Really there. I guess it's them stopping to eat or something whenever you do your walking rest. So notice one ration's gone. What are we supposed to find down here? Oh, maybe the place where everybody was slaughtered. Nothing? Okay. Go to the southeast. I did. There's nothing here. Oh, I can't go further southeast. What? You don't need to do, freaking game. I spoke with every NPC along the path. Oh. Oh yeah, there's this place. Forgot about this. Said that they felt stinging whenever they got near it. James took a few more steps before he realized the magician wasn't with him. He turned to find him staring off into the bushes with a comical questioning look. Something ain't right about things here, Peter said, turning in a slow circle. Not what they appear to be at all. And if a thing ain't what it looks like, that means it's wearing some kind of mask. What are you babbling on about? Locklear asked. Visible magicians, you donkey. Peter shot back, almost imperceptibly. His mouth began to move, silently forming words long forgotten. His lips began to move faster. In sync with the secret accelerating rhythm only he could know. Then he gave voice to the words. They tumbled from his throat, louder and louder, until he was nearly shouting. James saw a strange shimmering in the air. He turned to look. Before his amazed eyes saw a huddled pack of Moradolf spellcasters. Oh, great! What a good start to the battle. He's instantly dead. This is so dumb. How is he still even standing? I guess you just have to let him get killed here, because like there ain't no freaking way you can protect him. You didn't get a chance to move. How are you gonna miss a caster? Like, kind of scrub swordsman is he? Can't even hit a caster. Dang it, I clicked wrong. Alright. Dead. Wrath of Killian. There's not a temple in this whole area, so I guess you just can't heal him back up. Wonder if I should just reload and try it again. How to make the dumbest possible fight in a video game. Here it is. They did it. Genius. Is there some way to like protect your party from magic on this game? Patrons to start the battle with spell reflection. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh. Wow. Enter the battle with spell reflection on Beatrice. That'd be nice. Holy crap, he has 1 HP left. Drink all the potions, Beatrice. You freaking kidding me? I was 1 attack away from ending it and he used paralysis bullcrap on me. That was good. Evil Seek, I wonder. Be the best way to deal with this, really. He doesn't have to confuse all the mages move. That would be the best possible one. We don't have it. Oh, we're good. Got him. We have different loot. Unless I just missed one last time.
I was wondering where you two were.
Scratch one group of Moradol magicians. We found them. Good, I want you three to hurry ahead to the castle. They've already turned back on an irritation assault today, and I think the Baron can use your help right now. I need to find out what has happened to one of our scouts. It's gone missing. I'll be along as soon as I can. The portcullis creaked. An ashen-faced soldier trembled as he labored at the monolithic peg wheel. His back arched backwards, taut as a bowstring, as he hauled the iron gate upwards. With a jerk of his neck, he gasped between clenched teeth for James and his companions to hurry inside. Within, a handful of soldiers hurried to various tasks on the battlements, and panicked captains attempted to rally the surviving contingents of the day's fighting. Something's wrong, James muttered, observing the disarray. What's happened? Baron Gabbett's been murdered. That's what's happened, a nearby soldier shouted, glancing up from where he worked feverishly at unplugging a keg of oil. We found a bloody nest of nighthawks in our midst. They murdered the Baron's staff and 3 of the captains before we cornered them in a storeroom. Torch those corpses immediately, James ordered. They might be Black Slayers. Where's Duke Martin? Don't know. You're the closest thing we have to nobility at the moment. Guess that puts you in command, Senor. James said nothing as a rumble of thunder split the sky. Half-dead soldiers trumped past, their eyes hollowed with exhaustion as they traded places with equally worn men brought from the dining hall turned infirmary. Few men still possessed clothing unstained by blood. Dour with the turn of events, James eyed the horizon for any sign of help. In all likelihood, the Moradel would attempt to breach the wall today, and there was little he could do about it. Nighthawk treachery had silenced their cannons, and too many men had fallen in 4 days of heavy fighting. Attack! A voice screamed in the stillness. Attack, men! Men on the south face! James cast a fuming curse into the sunrise. He might die, but he would send as many Moradel as he could reach into the halls of the Death Goddess before he would go down. Moradel thrashed. As life dimmed in his horrified eyes, he toppled backwards into a wooden balustrade. With an ear-splitting shriek, the royal railing sundered into flying splinters, tumbled after his flailing feet as he disappeared into nothingness. Almost 2 days to breathe. James bolted to the wall to sight his fallen opponent. A crumbled heap of armor lay far below, splashed in gore and a spreading stain of red. Close by, a grim-looking figure lowered his crossbow and tilted up his shaggy head to favor the Senor with a rare smile. Arutha! I was beginning to believe you were going to miss all the fun. Illican would think me impolite if I didn't attend his little party. How are the men? Very bad. Of the original garrison of 415 men, 227 are dead. 35 are mortally wounded, and the rest are afflicted with dysentery or are too exhausted to wield a sword. Your arrival came none too soon. No discourtesy intended, Prince. Why did you wait so long in coming? We made all haste, nearly to the point of calamity. Your well-meaning messengers bumped into trouble and nearly didn't win themselves free. Consequently, we didn't receive your word until it was nearly too late for us to respond. We were greatly fortunate to arrive as soon as we did. The Mordor are in retreat. But few of them remain. By the accounts of my scouts, they think there may have been up to at least 6 companies in the hills. About that, since they didn't have the decency to attack all at once, we couldn't help, or we couldn't tell. If our trackers are to be believed, 4 of those companies slipped out a week ago, while the other 2 kept your forces pinned down. The rest apparently turned southwest. Sounds like they mean to strike at High Castle. Undoubtedly, since the Mordor leader has mimicked many of the moves that his predecessor Myrmidamus made, it stands to reason he may make many of the same mistakes. As a precaution, I split my forces and diverted half of them to High Castle. As soon as we are finished cleaning up here, I'll take the rest of our companies to engage them there. Chapter 6: Betrayal. Pug concentrated on the storm. Whitecaps curled on the face of the bitter sea as furious jags of lightning slashed down from a darkening sky. Far off, the wobbling sails of ships leapt in the troughs of gray waves, struggling desperately against winds that threatened to shear them into ragged scraps. Fishermen and frenzied shipmasters busied themselves along Krondor's docks as they raced to batten down flapping hatches and prevent unsecured goods from pitching into the churning seas. Everywhere there were planks and hammers and ropes, but among the workers not a soul dared utter a word. Wrongness. Pug sensed it as clearly as he smelled the salt in the air, and felt the hardwood railing under his hand. What had begun 3 days ago as a seemingly weak summer squall was intensifying into a threshing eye of violence. Within hours, it would make landfall, doubtless bruising the livelihoods of many coastal towns, Krondor among them. Perhaps it can be tamed, Pug thought, his face twisting into a frown. More of a lesser path affair, but it should be simple enough. Even as he extended his hand, the image of another storm formed in his mind, unbidden. A terrifying storm that had raged over his head as he came into the greatness of his power in a far distant empire called Suranuani. A storm that had tested his right to be a member of the alien assembly of magicians. A storm that had rent open the heavens and forever set him apart from other mortal men. Energy leapt from Pug's outstretched fingers in the heart of the storm, or into the heart of the storm, exploding within it a glorious rainbow pattern that illuminated the clouds in a throbbing elemental display. Greenish bands of color danced the sky as the wind began to abate. The torrential rains quickly softened to a mild patter. Blue blasts of energy moved between sea and sky. Gently the ocean stilled of its own accord. Satisfied the threat was reduced, Pug discontinued the spell with a slicing gesture and stepped back to watch the storm's progress. The sight eased his mind and allowed him time to mull over a series of issues, not the least of which was the ruined vacation that he, his wife Katala, and daughter Gamina had intended on making in Krondor. Like a lodestone to metal, he found his thoughts returning again and again to recollections of the Empire. Arrayed in flame, the enemy comes to shriek his cadence on skeleton drums. For thunder's spite will raise our call. Though down shall crumble empire all. A surrounding poet, I believe he was House Omichan. House Minwanabi, reign of the 53rd light of heaven. Is there something you need to see me about, McCullough? I am busy. Busy? You've been behaving like a Nidra bull with a burr in his bit. I came to ask, what has Pug of Stardock so distracted that he cannot find time to meet with his associate magicians? Has his reputation so inflated that a member of the Serani Assembly is no longer worthy of his attention? I'm sorry, perhaps you are right. I've just been very preoccupied. I find myself obsessed with this storm. All week I felt it building over the bitter sea, and all the while I have suspected there is more to it than is immediately perceptible. It doesn't feel natural. Have you seen its like? I have seen its match in destruction. As I recall, you created far more havoc in Seranoani when you disrupted my Emperor's Imperial Games. Several city blocks destroyed, countless lives lost, the warlord cast down in dishonor. I had a feeling you didn't summon a rift door to chastise me about my lack of attention. What is this about, McCullough? Your loyalties, Pug. While you claim loyalty to the Empire, you live your life under the influence of a Midkimian king. You took to wife a thorough Highlander. Your judgment is suspect. From the day I left the Empire, my judgment and my loyalty ceased to be the concern of the Assembly of Magicians. I do what I see is best for all concerned. I see. Then, is my act justifiable to that end? If it serves the common good, yes. Even if it violates an individual's rights? What do you wish for me to say, McCullough? You lead me as if I were one of your Nidra cows. I am in no mood for games. State your business. Very well. Your daughter Gamina has blossomed into a remarkable young woman. She is beautiful, gracious, and an honor to your house. Unfortunately, she is also a girl with remarkable powers. Your love for your daughter has led you into a grievous miscarriage of your duties. Why have you let her live? My estimation of a person's magical talents is not determined by their sex, McCullough. I refuse to murder my child to appease a barbaric tenant of the Assembly. They have no authority in Mikimia. In this instance, I believe they will choose to ignore the geography. At this juncture, the Assembly is troubled, surrounded by anti-traditionalists who embrace your Mikimian values, led in large part by Mara of the Akama. Open defiance by you, as our most notable member, could weaken our position within the Empire. That is something we cannot afford. We would be forced to make you publicly comply. Though I am equally wary of female abomination, I have no desire to see your daughter dead. I have acted on your behalf and placed her in exile until a time we can agree upon her ultimate fate. Why didn't you consult me? Where have you sent her? Seek her if you wish, but it will avail you little. Your further interference will likely ensure that the Assembly will carry out its order of death. They will be unable to kill her, however, if they cannot find her. It will be to your advantage to leave her be. I will not content myself to sit here while the Assembly banters about the value of my daughter's life. I shall find her, and then you tell your brethren to expect my visit. You embark on a dangerous road, but it is yours to take. Farewell then, Pug. The Book of Macros. What the crap? Find the Book of Macros, it said. The meditation tower being one of the first places I suspected of looking. I went there as soon as I discovered that neither he nor my daughter appeared for breakfast that morning. Then I found the message that he had burnt into the wall. The Book of Macros? What do you think the message means? I thought for a while that he intended for us to contact a magician named Macros, but it would be a feat impossible for even Pug to accomplish. Macros left Makimia long ago, and all he left behind were his writings, and presumably this Book of Macros would be among the books he left behind. Perhaps, but I cannot be certain. The library that Macros left on Sorcerer's Isle was vast, and it took us the better part of a year to move the bulk of it to the Academy at Stardock. Since that time, some of the volumes have been lent out to various scribes so that they can be cataloged and transcribed. Then the book could be anywhere. A new approach. Before he disappeared, did you know anything unusual that he may have said or done? As I said earlier, he had seemed agitated for some long time, but yes, there was something. About a month ago, we were walking in the gardens outside of the palace. Just the two of us enjoying the day when he suddenly halted us near the sewer grate. When I asked him what was wrong, he said, "Not all of the sheep are in our fold." Sheep? Forgive me, lady, but your husband seems to have an infuriating penchant for the cryptic. Not ordinarily, no. Only when things are on his mind. Come, I must head towards Stardock and look for evidence of this Book of Macros there. Where shall you two go? We go below into the sewers under Krondor. Owen, good lady. I believe we shepherds have an errant flock of sheep to find. Alright, so we're still in pretty good shape here as far as items go. We got food and everything. Alrighty. I'm going to take a break here.